from all sides, really. UK Prime Minister Theresa May seems to be calling for unity. This is her tweet from earlier. I believe with every fiber of my being that the course I've set out is the right one for our country and for our people. Nile Gardiner joins us, Heritage Foundation Margaret Thatcher Center for Freedom Director. Good to have you, Nile. Take this in order a little bit and, talk about her plan in a moment. But what about her political survival, which seemed to be in question yesterday? I even saw something from Sky News this afternoon that a no confidence vote was likely to take place. But what I don't know is whether or not her opponents have the votes to kick her out. What are you hearing?
That's a very good question, actually. And so my understanding is that the Brexit rebels who are calling for a no-confidence vote, they're very close, I think, to having the number of letters required to force a vote of no confidence in the Prime Minister. We could see that vote happening as early as Tuesday. And then all Conservative Party MPs will vote on the future of Theresa May. I would say right now that it's sort of 50-50 whether she would survive that vote, if indeed there is going to be a vote next week. She's in a very precarious position.
If she survives, she's in for a year, right? They can't bring it up for another year. So I wonder whether they'll even bring it up.
Yeah. If she wins a vote of no confidence, then she cannot be challenged for a whole year. So it's a high-risk gambit, of course, for the Conservative Party rebels here. But I think that there is widespread disillusionment within the Conservative Party over Theresa May's handling of the Brexit negotiations. This Brexit deal is seen as a complete and utter disaster. And so I think her situation is very, very weak right now. If she loses that vote, then there'll be a leadership contest within the Conservative Party. She could decide to either resign on the spot or take part in that leadership contest. But I think that there's a very good chance we could see a new British Prime Minister by the end of the year. Interesting.
Now, whether that happens or not, Great Britain is leaving the European Union, right? No matter what. In, I guess, March.
Yes.
March of next year, they're leaving. So what if there's no plan, that's been talked about, approved by then? What would actually happen? And I think that's one thing markets are obviously concerned about. What would it actually look like?
Yeah, so Brexit takes place definitely on March 29th, 2019. And the issue right now is whether or not Britain is going to move forward with an approved deal between London and Brussels, a negotiated settlement with the European Union, or whether Britain actually has a no-deal arrangement with the EU. There's a third possibility. We could see a renegotiation of Theresa May's deal with the EU. So there is a third possibility. If indeed there is a no-deal scenario, then there'll be no transition period for Great Britain, which is due to last until the end of 2020. And so Britain will be immediately outside of the EU single market and the EU customs union.
Right.
So there will be no fixed arrangement with the European Union. Basically, the UK will have to arrange a series of ad hoc deals with the EU in order to continue to facilitate business and trade.
Yep, that obviously, that's the thing that could get messy.
Yeah, I'm confident, though, that Britain will prevail, do well, even in a no-deal scenario. This is the world's 5th largest economy. It's Europe's 2nd biggest economy after Germany. It's in the interest of the EU, I think, to continue working closely with Great Britain and ensuring that trade and business continue as normal.
Right. All right, Nile, it's always good to have you on, and we'll obviously keep watching this. It's fascinating politically, if nothing else. Nile, thanks a lot. Melissa.
Thank you.
Honoring our heroes, Leo Stoker.